Happy Friday everyone! Welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. We won't have to wait long, do we, for the next Newcastle United game back at St James's Park, lunchtime tomorrow against Eddie Howe's ex-side Bournemouth. Jason Bournemouth, as expressions would say, lovely stuff. Anyways, we're going to talk about that preview at the end of the show. A bit of what Eddie Howe said in the press conference today as well, but the transfer news for today, which actually came out late last night, and it's regarding a right winger that Newcastle have turned down the chance to sign. What's happening with Almiron as well? Is he on his way out yet? Will he be playing tomorrow? All that's coming up, but before we do that, let's have a word from our sponsors. StocksFC is the football stock market where you can buy stocks in your favourite players and earn cash rewards based on real world performances. And they are giving away 5 free stocks to every user that signs up this month through my link in the description or the QR code on your screen. So that gives you a chance to get started and get familiarised with the platform. You can scout young new prodigies and buy them early before the price potentially rises. Should have done that with Lewis Hall at the start of the season. Or you can buy stocks in proven stores. So right now, you'd obviously go ahead and get Alexander Isak snapped up. The bloke's in red hot form. He'd be the one you'd want to be backing in the market at the minute. So check the link in the description to get yourself 5 free loan stocks and begin your journey with StocksFC. Right then, let's put the specs on. Get this right about the Japanese winger that Newcastle have turned down the chance to sign for £50 million. And I've seen a lot of people linking us with this winger more so last summer, one that would really make sense. He's a very good age, up and coming, but he's scoring goals, assisting goals over there in the Liga at Sociedad, and it is Takefusa Kubo. Now Newcastle have been made aware of the player's £50 million release clause, but the finances of the deal make it a non-starter. That's according to the Daily Mail that came out last night. So Newcastle will offer the chance for Kubo for 50 million quid, but we've turned it down. I find this one strange, to be honest with you, because this is a type of player that really ticks the boxes for Newcastle. You know, an attacking, quick, strong right winger. He may not look strong, but he does battle hard. He gets back as well. He helps out his team, does have an eye for goal, and gets many assists as well. So Kubo, with plenty of age left in him to develop and kick on his career, and a player that Newcastle would look at in terms of getting into that market of signing Asian players. I mean, we did spend last pre-season tour in his native Japan, and we're obviously trying to grow the fan base and the club over there. So getting him, imagine the shirt sales there across Asia, through the roof. So that would help as a brand, but most importantly, I'm asked what happens on the pitch, and he is a very good player on the pitch. So he would really boost Newcastle's team. He would be a big improvement. 50 million, so maybe it's this window where they've looked at that and thought, oh, we can't spend 50 million this window, which worries me. You know, worries me, as we said in yesterday's video, not being able to replace Almiron, who's set to leave for 10 million. So that's a cause for concern there, because if you can't, 50 million this day and age, it just isn't that much. It really isn't. So 50 million for Kubo, a player that's doing really well in one of the best leagues in the world over there in Spain. I find it strange. Maybe he's asking for way too much money. Is he asking for a huge sign-on fee? We don't know the ins and outs of the finances on this one, but Newcastle have pulled back from it. Maybe they'll look towards the summer, or they'll have someone else lined up for this window, or more probably in the summer ahead there, most likely is when we'll spend big money on the right winger, but hopefully that could all change anyways. So with Kubo, Newcastle turned him down. I'm a bit gutted about that. I think he's one on the list right up there. Now, I know Mbeumo is my number 1 target, and you know, we're linked with Bakayoko, Semenyo, many other right wingers. Kubo was a bit of a fan's favourite. There was a shout out the Irish Mags, who was on their podcast. They were saying they wanted him, and loads of channels have been calling for Kubo, and yeah, he does tick a lot of the boxes for this type of player Newcastle want. But not for Mitchell, not for Howe. At the minute, anyways, they've ruled themselves out of activating his £50 million release clause. I'd be surprised if nobody does that this window, if he doesn't end up in the Premier League maybe. So yeah, we'll wait and see if Kubo goes anywhere else, swaps the blue and white stripes for black and white in the summer, or somebody else sooner or later, because he's too good now for Sociedad. He's too good for that Spanish league. He needs to take a step up, maybe come to England. So yeah, we'll wait and see on the future of Kubo. But our current right winger, or one of them who's behind Jacob Murphy, is obviously Miggy Almiron. He's still set to sign for Atlanta United to get that return back to the MLS. He could and probably will be involved in the matchday squad tomorrow, although you've got to take a pinch of salt what Eddie Howe says, in these press conferences. But he says that he's fit, he's available, he wants to play. So maybe it will be Miggy's farewell tomorrow. we'll wait and see on that. He'll probably be on the bench and he may come on again like he did the other night for 10, 20 minutes. But I still expect it to sign, so it's a risk though, isn't it? If Miggy picks up a knock tomorrow, coming off the bench, imagine that, and then you lose 10 million for him. My days, that would be a bit of a stinker. So he's saying here for now, over the weekend, maybe he'll get his little farewell testimonial appearance tomorrow before he jets off to America, as everyone's still reporting that deal is expected to go ahead and be finalised for Almiron to return to Atlanta for £10 million. But we're not going to go for Kubo. Who will we go for? That's on Mitchell, of course, our sporting director, Paul Mitchell, and it said that he will be holding a transfer summit next week, which, bit strange that, because didn't have you now, Mitchell, but the window's been open for a couple of weeks already, mate. Yeah, what is it? 17th of January. 17th of January. What we're having transfer meetings for, with 2 bastard weeks of the window left. I don't get this one. So, again, this was from the Mail's article. Newcastle United Scouting Network will meet on Tyneside this weekend for a summit in which Paul Mitchell will give a presentation. Mitchell is set to outline the club's current position regarding recruitment and discuss the profile of players they want to bring in. Not Kubo, by the looks of it, by the sounds of it. But why are we having these discussions halfway through a transfer window? That, for me, is a signal that we're not going to dig out this window, is it? Because would you really be doing this a couple of weeks into the said transfer window already? It seems to me like we're going to outline players that we're going to go for straight away after June 30th when that PSR deadline is done. So from then we will know who the club want to sign, what type of players are going to go for, and everything else. Because we're having summits and presentations, like I say, when you're already over halfway through the transfer window by the time this meeting happens over the weekend. It's a bit bizarre, that one. It's not very smart, not very good. Unless things have changed. Did they not expect to get the money for Almiron? Did they not expect to maybe have this offer for Kelly that they might somehow meet in the middle with Fenerbahce? And there you go, before you know it, you've raised 20 odd million off sales of Almiron and Kelly. And then you think, actually, you know, now we can push forward for that signing. I hope it's the latter. But I've got a feeling it's not. And we're going to wait until after June, PSR deadline, to do business. But I'll keep my fingers crossed, as I'm sure you will, that will do strengthen this window. We'll keep the faith on that one because it is pivotal. Like, I don't want us to fall off now. If we have an injury to Isaac or Gordon, we've already got one to Barnes, so that disrupts the momentum there in terms of being able to freshen things up. So if that happens, or if it happened to Tonali or whatever, you know, then it could really disrupt things, and I think it would give everyone a massive lift and boost if we did sign someone this January and we could kick on to go and achieve something great, especially with Cup final hopefully coming up and through the next round of the FA Cup, favourable tie, away to League One Birmingham, so we have big chances here to have a very special season, but the squad depth isn't quite there yet. If we brought in a right winger, especially this window, maybe even a defender, then yeah, it could give everyone a lift going into a busy, packed second half of the season. Just reading some notes from the press conference today as well, by the way, and how it actually came out with some truth on the subject of transfers for once. You know, normally you'll say, there's no update, there's none of this. He said on Almiron's imminent move back to Atlanta, it's not ideal, we don't want to lose players, but we know there's a reality to PSR. But then again, saying, you know, we're expecting Trinity and be part of the squad for tomorrow. He's been top class, so could it be Miggy's last showing in black and white tomorrow? Everything points towards a yes on that one. Haaland signed a 9.5-year deal today, by the way, if you haven't seen it. Contract of 9.5 years for Haaland at Man City. Crazy stuff. A journalist in the presser asked him, would you like Isaac to sign that? And obviously I think we'll know what the answer to that is. But he laughed and he's congratulated Haaland on getting such a long, big deal. But Eddie on extending Isaac's contract, who does still have, I think it's 3 years left now. Everything else off the pitch will naturally fall into place based on what he does on it. I just want him to concentrate on scoring. We could not regard Alex highly enough. His contribution this season has been immense. He was obviously looking for his 9th goal in a row tomorrow. 9 goals in a row for Isaac would get him up that table again, closing down Vardy's 11 goals in a row in consecutive games as a Premier League record. So we'll see if Isaac can do it tomorrow. I think he will. And obviously Newcastle are trying to break their own record. Eddie Howe's trying to become the statistically best manager ever in terms of winning games in a row at the Toon. He's levelled Keegan's 9 in a row now. He would be the first and only to ever do it in the league, 10 in a row, if he beats his old side Bournemouth tomorrow, who he's never actually beaten before. I hope he can come over that hurdle tomorrow. There must be something inside him where he just loves Bournemouth so much, and fair play, you know, he's a player there, he was manager there for so long, took them from the bottom of League 2 all the way to the Premier League, so that's understandable, but he has to start beating them now, and it has to start tomorrow, because we don't want to let this slip. This is the type of game where you think, we're in the top 4 now, keep it going. You know, then we've got a favourable game next week away at Southampton. Let's keep this run going, man. Let's stay above Chelsea. Let's show them that we're serious and in the hunt there and in the pack and going to remain in it by getting a big win at lunchtime. Newcastle do have a good record on the Owl lunchtime kickoffs. I think we're unbeaten in the last 6, was it that I read? So that's obviously very good. And listen, Bournemouth have got injury problems themselves. Their 2 strikers are injured tomorrow. Evan Nilsson, the Brazilian, who was signed for a record fee in the summer to replace Slanky, he started kicking on as well. He looked good in the last couple of months after a slow start. And then Enes Unal is injured as well. So they've had to recall their former Sheffield United striker Daniel Jemison from his loan at Watford. They're lacking up front. Obviously, they've got Justin Cliver, who plays as a forward for them. He's 6 out of 7 of his goals this season have been pens. Obviously, his dad, Patrick, used to play for the Toon, so Justin will be looking to score changes like his dad did before. But Bournemouth's going to be a tricky game, man. They're a good side. They're in the mix as well for European places. They were seconds away from beating Chelsea at Stamford Bridge the other night, so they're still a dangerous, good, quality attacking side with a decent young manager as well. So it's not going to be easy. Like I said, you know what Eddie's record's like against the Cherries. He doesn't like eating them. He doesn't like beating them. But tomorrow, I'm really hoping that all changes, and I think it will. I'm going to back a 2-1 Newcastle win. Ease out to score again. Get that record 9 goals in a row and hopefully continue that to beat Vardy's. And Newcastle to get 10 wins in a row, which would be absolutely mental. I'll be at the game, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the vlog and the match reaction. Drop your score predictions in the comments below. And a final thank you to our sponsors of this video, StocksFC. Remember, you can hit the link in the description or scan the QR code on your screen to get yourself those 5 free loan players in the StocksFC website and win yourself some cash for now. Cheers for watching, everyone. Subscribe to the channel. See you later.